I forgot my lines.
Thanks, Lucy. Welcome back to Movie Reviews in the Asylum. Insane Mike.
Why do you always sound out of breath when you come back to...
It's been a long time since the last episode.
Like you way in here from the last episode. I'm Jason. Sorry.
This movie I'm just jumping into it because I'm, you know.
You ran all the way here, you might as well.
I did. I don't have time to mess around. We are going to review the goriest movie alive.
Are movies alive? I mean, is that something to...
Dead Alive.
That's it.
Is the movie Peter Jackson's classic from what year?
1992.
92. It was a good year.
Was.
Yes.
Why? Dead Alive.
Dead Alive. This movie is bloody as all get out. It's awesome, but it's just so over the top that it's not like super gross. You know, it's not sickening. So you can't. What is the funny?
I've known you for 20 years and you've never said the phrase of all get out. I'm just laughing from that. Go on, gory blood. Yeah, it's all.
So this movie is this guy named Lionel who's really got some Norman Bates mommy issues.
Big time.
She's like way overprotective and stuff. Well, we need to back up even a little bit because the whole movie starts off on
there's a rat.
On a rat, not just a rat, but a rat monkey.
Ooh, one of the worst kinds of rats.
Yeah, because all rat monkeys look like claymation.
Yeah.
Until they get stepped on, and then they look like a little plastic rubber doll. Anyway, so the movie starts off on Skull Island, which is not a coincidence that King Kong takes place on Skull Island too. We can reference that later, but anyway, so Skull Island, there's this like guy with permits, and because he's got this like rare breed of rat monkey that he's taking back to New Zealand, put in the zoo, but the natives are like hoorah hoorah hoorah, which means no. And so they chase him down, but he gets bit by the rat monkey, so he gets kicked off the back of the Jeep, and they're like, they say, gonna die, I don't know if they said something, but they say it several times. And then they chop him up everywhere he got bit. Why? Comes into play later. And so then we're introduced to Lionel and his crazy overprotective mother, and Lionel meets the local grocery store clerk chick, Paquita, who's a cutie. She's a cutie. She's, you know, sweet thing. Aw, Paquita. And she's looking for love, and she thinks she's gonna fall in love with. Is he the milkman? What is that dude? The football player guy? Yeah. Talks about football the whole time. Some delivery dude. But no. Her grandmother, her like psychic gypsy grandmother, says that she's got to look for this sign to find her true love, and then conveniently this sign happens with Lionel, and so it's Lionel. It's got to be Lionel. So she makes a move on Lionel, just like the most aggressive woman ever trying to pick up a dude in history. It's awesome. So they go to the zoo, and then crazy mom's following them at the zoo.
She doesn't approve.
Does not approve. And then crazy mom gets bit by the rat monkey, and then she steps on its head, and its gumball eyeball falls out. So it takes mom home, and the mom starts turning into a zombie. And then just chaos ensues because Lionel can't let go, and you know, keeps mom around, and everyone else she turns into a zombie keeps them around just because he can't let go because he's got mommy issues. So it's like Psycho, but with zombies. It's like Norman Bates' mother turned into a zombie. It's totally what this movie is without the cross-dressing. So he's got his little group of zombies, and he figures out a way of keeping them subdued with tranquilizers.
Obviously. Slow them down.
I guess I should mention too that this movie is awesome, but you have to suspend a ton of disbelief. Like, to subdue a zombie, you shoot them up their nose with a tranquilizer. To create super zombies, you shoot them up with animal stimulants like steroids or something. And zombies can have sex and have babies in a matter of hours. So, because there's the priest zombie and the nurse zombie, and they get it on. She gets pregnant and she gives birth to a garbage pail kid. Which ends up being the greatest scene in the movie, where Lionel, for what reason, decides to take the garbage pail kid to the park in a stroller, because that's what you do with babies, apparently. Because he's looking around at all the moms with their kids and mimics their behavior with the garbage pail kid baby. But it goes horribly wrong, and the garbage pail baby kid baby gets out, and so he beats up a small baby. It's awesome. He like power punches a baby in the face, while all these moms and stuff are looking on. And what's his reply to that?
He's
hyperactive.
Oh yeah.
So forget Riddling, moms and dads.
Punch him
in the face. Mom gets out of the house, and everybody finds out that she's really dead, and so they have a funeral for her. But he goes later that night to try to dig up Mom, because pump her full of tranquilizers, because he knows she's gonna get out. And she does, when there's like these punk guys taking a leak on her grave. And so one of the punk guys gets bit, and he turns into a zombie. Then the priest shows up in one of the greatest kung fu action sequences in cinema history, as the kung fu priest shows up and kicks ass for the Lord and takes down the zombies. But he ends up getting bit as well, and then gets thrown on a statue. And so now we've got zombie mom, zombie priest, zombie biker guy, and zombie nurse, and the zombie baby. So he finally figures out a way to kill them. Well, thanks with the help of Paquita. Paquita's just like, let it go, man. God, let it go. So he's like, man, mom, and then like takes poison, and we know it's poison because it's got the skull and crossbones, and shoots all the zombies up with that. But then later realizes, oops. Animal stimulants.
Dang, mislabeling.
Yeah, so it makes them all pop out of the ground again, Bruce Lee style, popping up out of the ground with a lot of wind machines behind them.
Awesome.
It is very awesome. And then at this time, there's also a whole thing of the subplot of this like evil uncle that realizes that Lionel is now inheritance of his mom's wealth and the house and everything, and so he ends up blackmailing Lionel into, signing over the house and stuff. So the crazy uncle is having a party.
Does the worst thing possible that could happen in this movie.
Yes.
Throw a party with 100 people in this house full of zombies in the basement.
Yes.
I wonder what's gonna happen.
I don't know. What's gonna happen? Zombie mayhem and carnage. And this is the Return of the Living Dead style of zombies that, like, if you chop off a zombie's arm, the arm's gonna come after you. So you have to, how are you gonna stop these zombies? A bullet in the head's not gonna do it. You have to literally reduce these zombies to bloody goo.
Yeah, because there's even like guts that chase somebody down.
Yes.
That chase Lionel down.
Oh, it's so funny, so brilliant, so imaginative. A lot of suspension of disbelief.
And it, you said when we watched it the other day that it might be responsible for a whole subgenre. What do you call it?
Splat stick. Not slapsticks, but splat stick. And yeah, really it is, because what year was it again? 92. So you really didn't see a whole lot of that. Some people would argue like the Evil Dead movies was really the start of that subgenre, and I agree with that. It totally is, especially Evil Dead 2. Yeah. But like, Dead Alive really took it over the top. Spoilers, but like the way Lionel takes down. Do I not tell him how he takes?
It's the best legendary scene of the movie.
Like Lionel's hanging from the ceiling. There's zombies coming at him from one angle, zombies coming at him from another angle. The guts are sliding down the cord that's got him hanging upside down. So he's got zombies coming from him in every direction. And he pulls himself up the stair railing, lets himself go, and he goes flying and crashing through the window, and all things look lost. Paquita's about ready to get bit, being surrounded by zombies, and then in through the front door with a lawnmower strapped to Lionel as like a chainsaw, but it's a lawnmower, and kicks the doors open and is like, "Party's over," and like, and just mows down the zombies
like
with a
20
lawnmower.
minutes.
Yes.
It just doesn't stop.
It just keeps going as just blood and goo flies everywhere. It's just oozing and dripping through the whole third act of this movie.
It's insane.
You know?
How much blood did you say they used?
It was, I think, like
200 liters or
200 liters, something like that. Yeah. Just
Tons
of
much
blood.
Yeah.
There's just not a moment in the third act that is not oozing with blood.
So cool.
Blood, body parts flying everywhere. Paquita's in the kitchen taking care of the small limbs and putting them in a blender. The crazy uncle goes chasing after the Garbage Pail Kid, because the Garbage Pail Kid does a crotch shot to the crazy uncle with a severed leg. Completely unrealistic, but that's the intent, man. It's a comedy, you know? It's more comedy than anything. It's splatstick. You really hate that, don't you?
No, I don't mind it. It's kind of cool. But yeah, it's the comedy that gives it that.
And that's where you can be taken out of reality with it and things are okay. Like the fact that the nurse never gets bitten, but she turns into a zombie too. You know, stuff like that. You know, the fact that the priest and the nurse have sex and have a Garbage Pail Kid baby. You know, the fact that a zombie gets its head impaled on a light bulb and then like illuminates the whole room with its head. You know, stuff like that. You know, stuff completely unrealistic. I love this is also the use of weapons in this movie. Everything from, you have the lawnmower, you have his necklace that's supposed to protect him that the gypsy grandmother gives Lionel. He even uses his necklace as a weapon at one point in the movie. You've got lawn gnomes as weapons, pliers, rakes, blenders.
One of my favorite things is the Garbage Pail Kid, and when they like cut the shots of him running away, it's actually a small child in a suit, and it's like really creepy. Because most of the time it's just this little puppet, but then they shoot shots of it running away or running at you, and it's like a little toddler, and I'm like, oh my god, that's creepy.
And you know, this is pre-Lord of the Rings, obviously, so like
pre.
I still think he does a decent job. There's a few moments with the little person in a Garbage Pail Kid suit that isn't proportioned quite right, but I think for the most part it works.
Yeah.
For the most part it works when between the Garbage Pail Kid puppet and the Garbage Pail Kid little person in a suit. You know, there's just a couple shots and it's like, okay. You know,
a little fatter kid that day.
A little fatter, a little taller. Not quite the size of a baby, you know, but...
well, I love those shots. It's just, it makes it creepy to me. I don't know.
It's a great... I would love to have that puppet.
Yeah.
That would just be fun to have around the house. It's just, it totally looks like a Garbage Pail Kid. We didn't even mention, like, when Mom comes back. Did we bring that up? Because that's kind of a super mega... She completely morphs into this huge zombie that all of a sudden now can talk again.
Right.
You know? And then, like, this is twice now that Pete has done this in his early films, where, like, the lead character, Lionel, gets consumed by, basically gets sucked back into his mother's womb. And... I'll take care of you, Lionel. Your mother's the only one who loves you. And then that's how he gets out, by using his like necklace, you know, alien style, chest burster style of carving his way back out of his mom. You know, just like in Bad Taste, it's just like this whole like being born again
yeah.
theme in those early films of his.
Oh.
Yeah, what's that about?
I don't know. You see interviews with his mom, and she's always cool. And
they seem normal.
get along.
Mom and dad, yeah.
Mom and dad.
Mom. It's New Zealand. You have to say mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few moments where like dialogue's a little hard to understand because the New Zealand accent's not nearly as bad as Bad Taste, you know. But it's just such a great movie. You know, did a lot of research on this movie on IMDb and stuff, and there's a lot of stuff, a lot of people out there that tick me off because they, you know, continuity errors.
Oh, wow.
Why waste your time to find continuity errors in a movie like this?
Yes.
You try making a movie that has like 300 liters of fake, 800
Whatever.
liters of fake blood in it, and try to keep continuity with the blood. I mean, it's like, there's a blood spot here that's not in the next shot. I mean, really, come on.
Not this movie.
This is,
mean, like,
that.
Yeah, Casablanca or Wuthering Heights, something. Yeah, mess with those movies, but
Yeah, if you want to point out continuity errors and that stuff, whatever, but it's pointless.
It's not alive.
It's
Just
pointless
have fun.
to be.
Just have fun.
Rationalize it by saying, you know, the blood's even alive, so it's moving.
And done.
There you go.
Sleep
You're
with me.
welcome. If you're a fan of blood and guts and you're a fan of Looney Tunes cartoons,
It's perfect.
perfect for you. Definitely check it out. I would assume most gore fans, though, have seen this movie.
Yeah.
You know, it was originally called Brain Dead in New Zealand when it was originally released in New Zealand. They changed it to Dead Alive for the States. I think part of that.
They recut it a little, didn't they?
There's
So
a
they
little,
did it for
believe
Dead
it or not, yeah, there's a little bit cut out of this film. There's like an extra zombie sex
death,
scene
Sex scene.
that happens when the party starts. One of them is impaled with this stake through their chest, and then they end up on the floor to do it again. And in the most hilarious innuendo scene of all time, where like the stake that is through the one zombie is going through the other zombie while they're on top of each other, and as they're like dry humping, that stake is going in and out of the other zombie. Subtle.
Yeah.
Subtle. And then there's just little bits of gore cut here and there. There's another moment. Oh, there is a significant moment of biker zombie that got cut where you see like his legs get cut in half, which is pretty important because then there's a shot later on where he has found the top half has found his legs again, but he's like holding his legs in place, and you're like, what's that about?
Right.
You know, so it's kind of a bummer that was cut. My favorite title for this movie, which is also my favorite line from this movie, is the Spanish title for this movie, which is "Ible de blu bla blu bla," translated in English, "Your mother ate my dog." Which is the greatest line from this movie. And I wish in the States this movie would have been titled "Your Mother Ate My Dog." Nowadays with titles like Snakes on a Plane
Right.
and like Drive Angry and stuff like that, they probably would release this as "Your Mother Ate My Dog."
It's just a straight up classic film must see for everyone who loves horror and gore and Peter Jackson and his roots.
Roots. Oh, I didn't come back to the whole Skull Island thing. So Peter Jackson did the remake of King Kong with Jack Black. Yeah, he's the one that's in that. And Peter Jackson has not been quiet about the fact that he's a huge King Kong fan. Like the original King Kong's like one of his favorite movies. And so Skull Island in beginning of Dead Alive was intentional that it was referring to King Kong. So when he did his remake of King Kong, he did a little nod to Dead Alive, and in the cargo bay of the ship that they're on, there is a crate at the back of the ship that says Sumerian rat monkey, beware of bite. So check it out.
Awesome.
And actually, we're gonna wrap this up so we can go watch it. Let's go watch it.
Let's do that.
Yeah. All right. So.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.